This is a Singer Merit 8834 model. It is considered a heavy-duty sewing machine made for denim and heavier weight fabrics. Of course, there are lightweight fabrics as well. And I'm going to show you how to add machine oil to a machine like this and the proper places to put the actual oil. Okay, so this is the top of the Singer Merit 8834 model sewing machine. It has only 2 screws that you loosen up on the top. It's a great portable heavy-duty machine. Has a nice carry handle. So you unscrew the 2 top screws and lift that top off. Now, I went to Walmart and got this sewing machine oil because it has a nice zoom spout where you can get down inside the machine without any trouble. Now, a lot of people ask, where do you oil the inside of a machine? Well, anywhere where you have metal on metal, where metal rubs metal. So, and you only need 1 drop. You don't need a lot of oil. Sometimes on newer models, they'll have a dot, you know, marking the spots where they want you to put oil. But this is an older model machine, and in this hole right here is the mechanism that makes the needle go up and down. So within that area, you definitely want to put a drop of oil. And where this screw is, you can see, well, hopefully you can see the arm that moves. And I just take the spout, squeeze the oil down into the tube there, and then put 1 drop where that elbow joint is and let it sit in there. And then you want to take with your hand on the hand wheel, you want to turn it a couple of times to get it lubricated. Now the other place you want to put oil in this is in areas that involve the moving of certain parts. This was the stitch style that moves, and sometimes this gets a little frozen up, and so you don't want to put any oil on anything rubber or plastic because it will deteriorate it, so remember that. And you don't want to do it on the actual worm gear, as it's called, is the big gear inside with the main shaft. However, here, right here, where this main shaft meets this part of the machine, from here to here, right here at this, where the main shaft goes into that metal piece, you want to put 1 drop there. And then give that a good turn. I'm already feeling it loosening up because it was a little, I call it gets dry eye, if you want to call it that. Now there's another part that I'd like to try to show you, and that is right in here. I'm going to try to point with the little red tip on this thing, and I'll show you where that worm gear is, because that is where you want to put your gear grease, and that would be Tri-Flow gear grease. It's synthetic and it lasts a very long time. So inside, right in this particular machine, where this particular piece is, right below it is where there is an actual gear. You can probably see it in this. There's your part of your worm gear right there. And that is where you want to check for any old grease. And you want to take a little, either a tiny little brush, a toothbrush works, and get that old gear grease out and put new gear grease in there. The old gear grease will jam it up and make it tight so that your needle will not revolve well. I've put new gear grease in this what I did was I just put it on the tip of actually it was almost like a popsicle stick, and just put it in there. So if you can see it turning around in there. Otherwise, there's really not a whole lot of places that require the oil on this particular machine, which makes it very nice. I'm going to show you the inside here of where the actual needle plate is. There's only one screw that holds it in here. So once I get that out, it's one of those long screws that, it has to be all the way undone or it won't come out. There we go. Okay, so now you can see other parts of the machine that may require a drop of grease. Or not grease, excuse me, machine oil. And this, I'm going to use this red tip. This is the actual bar that grazes up and down with the needle in it. And then I can show you exactly where that oil should go on this part of the machine. I'm going to try to lower this down if I can. Lower it down enough so that you can actually see better. Okay. Actually, I'm going to angle this camera in another spot so you can actually see what I'm looking at. So in this part of the mechanism of the sewing machine, this is your needle bar that goes up and down. You have metal on metal right here inside. And as you turn it, you can see it move. And you can see this arm go up and down. Whatever this arm is connected to, which is right down in here, you would want one drop there. Actually, I always put one on the bar here so that it doesn't get dried out. Not too much. You don't want it to eventually drip down on your fabric. And when this comes back up, this area right here, where it is metal on metal, past that screw, right there where the tip on my red pointer is, you want to put a drop of oil there. So let's see if I can do that one-handed here. That's why I like this telescoping oil. Put one drop here. One. And then I like to put one here. Not on the plastic. On this part that goes from metal to metal. Because that metal bar touches that metal encasing above it. As you will see. And it goes up and down inside it. Now another spot sometimes machines might need a drop of oil is within the bobbin racing area. This is easy to do. You pull this plate off. See if I can get it to behave itself. Okay, this one's a little crooked. And this one, you lift up this back end and it pops out. You want to make sure you don't have any bobbins in there. And you want to inspect the inside really well to make sure that there's no threads or obstructions inside. And as you can see, this one is nice and clean.